crois qu'il n'a peut-être pas compris.
Paris is renowned for its influential and diverse cuisine, which is centered heavily around meat. French cooking is a huge part of the culture, and the French people take great pride in their specialty dishes and high-quality products. In Paris alone, there are over 9,000 restaurants, which serve traditional French cuisine, ranging from beef tartare and mule frites to escargot and poulet. However, even with all of these delicious options available, some people choose to live a meatless lifestyle. France is a country of 60 million people, approximately 2% of which choose not to eat meat for a variety of reasons. 5 American students set out to find how you would experience the French culture in Paris while living a meatless lifestyle. In order to discover the extent to which eating meat is intertwined in the French culture, we will live a week in Paris eating French meals containing meat, followed by a week of a strictly meatless diet. For the purpose of this project, we are defining meatless as food that does not contain any once living animal, ranging from cattle and chicken all the way to fish and snails. During these weeks, we will be comparing cost differences as well as the accessibility of options in restaurants.
So much part of the meal, of the recipes, I really don't know that many I don't know any vegetarians from France. And I think it's just because of the history, since the religion never forbid the meat, and it was never like a requirement of any sort in the society, and it was in the past a sign of wealth. Maybe that's why it remains so important in French meals.
During Meat Week, we explored the cost and accessibility of meat options. Day 1 Meat Week, eating in a traditional French restaurant.
Okay, so we have our fixed price menu of €12. We get an entree, a plate, and a dessert.
Tagliatelle
With
2 salmon.
and a Coke.
And a Coke. Okay. Poêlon de moule, oui.
Et poulet rôti.
Bœuf bourguignon.
No, poulet rôti.
Ah, poulet rôti, pardon.
These potatoes are really good.
According to an article in Appetite about the psychosocial influences on food choice in France, the French are mostly concerned with food quality rather than ethical issues concerning animals.
Here in France, the meat is very important. We're carnivore, we're animals, so we love the meat. And everything is based on meat. Almost everything is based on meat, or charcuterie, pork, beef, fish. We eat some bizarre things like snails, like frog's legs, like meat of pork. We call that boudin, black or white. And meat is very important for us. And thank you all. Thank you.
Day 4 of Meat Week, eating at Fontainebleau.
So was a prep?
Dinner time.
Oh, Richard.
Oh, yeah.
It was generally easy for our group members to find an entree which contained meat during our Meat Week in Paris.
We always just turn off the camera, so it's really dramatic.
Day 7 of Meat Week, eating in the cafeteria.
Vegetables, rice, pasta salad, some chocolate mousse. Chicken looks good, I tasted it already. I snuck a little taste in when I was up there.
And how much was that?
It was €2.90. So like $3.50 in America.
Good God.
Dude,
And
that looks
Taryn,
so
what do
good.
you have?
I have, it looks like a chicken leg and pasta salad and fries. It was also $2.90.
You could have picked up the dessert.
I always forget napkins.
True.
As part of your meal.
Do you want to have some of this?
Benny, how you doing on that steak?
Taryn through it.
Not tender. It's like a piece of leather.
Is it really? It's the best.
By the end of Meat Week, our group spent a total of €325.10, with an average of €65.02 per person.
During Meatless Week, we compared the cost and accessibility of eating meatless meals to that of Meat Week.
We're here in the cafeteria eating vegetarian tonight, and there weren't too many options up here, so I had to get this pizza with sausage-like thing on it. So I'm gonna pick that off now.
There was like some kind of thing on the front door about vegetarian option. If you didn't want meat, you could get like 2 entrees or something like that. But it's kind of confusing. None of the non-meat options they had were anything like substantial. Mostly like side dishes and entrees and things like that. So we're feeling the burn.
Is it hard to go to a restaurant and find a meal that is without meat?
C'est très compliqué. Il y a quelques restaurants végétariens sur Paris, mais souvent ils sont très très chers.
On day 3, we found a strictly vegetarian restaurant for dinner.
Richard, how was your meal?
It was surprisingly really good. Like, I'm not done eating and I'm stuffed. I was anticipating just blowing through this meal, eating everything on my plate, and like still being hungry.
How about you, Benny?
I thought it was really good. It was the first place we've been to, I think, that's like made a real effort to like put a lot of different kinds of food on your plate at one time. We had lots of different vegetables and grains and meat products, and like I think it was really good. Everything didn't taste like meat, but it was good in its own right.
On day 4, we ate a meatless meal at a traditional French restaurant.
So we just got our vegetarian plates. Looks like green beans, carrots, tomatoes, nicely seasoned.
Looks like it's seasoned
We got
really
some
well.
peas in there too.
I got the same thing.
Olivia's dish. Yummy. Olivia, what did you get?
I got the 4 cheese pasta.
Wow, that's delicious.
Would you have preferred to go to a restaurant like this and eat a vegetarian plate, or go to a purely vegetarian restaurant and eat something that's like meat substitute like we had last night?
Purely vegetarian.
Purely vegetarian?
Because then at least I would have more
I would have agreed too. That meal we had last night
This was the only, like it was either that or this.
The meal we had last night, I had a difficult time deciding what I wanted. It's just one of those things. But then again, they were harder to find.
And it was another €3.40 more expensive than tonight.
And also, I feel like here we're at a French restaurant, we know what we're missing out on. At a vegetarian, because those weren't really French meals, you know what I mean?
It's vegetarian meals.
Yeah.
I think it was Asian inspired, sort of.
Yeah.
In Paris, we don't have really French restaurants who make vegetarian eat. And if you got to find how they spend restaurants, people from Asia, from India, from other kind, not really French people who make this kind of eat.
After 7 days of eating meatless meals, the Campaign of France, as a group, spent €309.20, averaging out to €61.84 per person.
During the 2 weeks of our experiment involving French cuisine, it has become apparent that living a meatless lifestyle, although possible, is difficult when trying to experience the spectrum of French culture. In our survey of 75 restaurants in 5 main areas of Paris, we found that of the plats principales, 86% of the dishes contained some sort of meat. The dishes not containing meat were composed mainly of legumes or pasta and did not contain tofu or other meat substitutes. Of the estimated 9,000 restaurants in Paris, 67 are exclusively vegetarian, or about 0.7%. When looking at vegetarian-specific restaurants, they seem to be more ethnic food than typical French cuisine. Our data showed that 4 out of 5 of the group members showed an increase in the amount of money spent on food going from meat to meatless. Outliers in the data skewed the averages from representing this trend, but by and large there was an increase in money spent during the meatless week. Despite the lack of resources available to Parisian vegetarians currently, there is a movement to push for increased public acceptance and accommodation. The Veggie Pride demonstration, a yearly movement in Paris and throughout Europe, has been fighting for increased acceptance since 2001. Founder David Olivier informed us of the group's mission and desired impact in a phone interview, describing the prejudices and stigmas vegetarians often face in Paris and how they choose to combat them.
The demonstration is to say that, yes, well, vegetarians do exist. We're members of society like any other member of society, and we have rights. And one of our rights is to have our opinions taken into consideration.
Okay.
To voice our opinions about animals, about what happens to animals, to say that we have decided to opt out from eating meat, from eating animals. And
Personal choice cladding with historic values leaves little room for traditional experiences, but a sacrifice is often necessary for individual satisfaction. This is no different for our experience in Paris, leading a meatless lifestyle. Our choices mirrored those of a minority population in Paris, and our understanding showcases a growing niche population in a major world city.